Hey everybody, in this SketchUp tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do a armchair, a table, and a refrigerator. So the first thing I'm going to do is delete this guy. So click, delete. Then I'm going to do the armchair first. I'm going to do R for rectangle. And then I'm going to press my left arrow key. So I do the green vertical rectangle. I'm just going to eyeball this. Let's go a little higher. Oops. By the way, if you press Control, that makes a wide rectangle. Or if you don't do Control, it does it 1 point. Let's do something like this. All right, so C for circle. Come to this edge. You want a green one, so left arrow key, click, and move it to this edge. And I'm going to erase this, and I might make this a little longer. It looks like an iPod. Make M, so M for move, and I'm just going to drag the bottom line down straight, like that. All right, now push-pull this slightly. That's like one side of my chair, maybe a little bit more push-pull. Oops. Here's a trick how to do the same shape backwards. If you triple click it, 1, 2, 3, and then press M, tap Control, that's the copy mode, little plus sign. Click and drag far away, make sure you're on the red axis. And then S for scale. So S for scale, and you're gonna stretch it, not the front one, but the middle and the back, going the other way. So click and go this way, and then press -1 on your keyboard, enter. And now I can do M for move it back slightly. All right, let's draw a rectangle in the back, R for rectangle. So don't go all the way to the front, just go to the back because that's going to be our backrest. So click P for push-pull. And then I can push-pull this a little bit this way. Pull this a little bit this way. And I'm just going to draw a line in the back here for where the seat's going to be. And I can push-pull this forward. So that's an armchair. It's probably not the most comfortable. You can add curves and arcs and stuff. Like if you want to do A for arc, I can like push-pull like that. And then if you did that arc, if you double click, not in the corner, but a little bit towards the corner, double click with your mouse, left click, that does the same arc you just did. All right, so that's not bad. Say I want to do a table. Let's do rectangle, push pull. I'm actually just going to come underneath, push pull this up. And a trick to have even spaced legs is R for rectangle. And I'm just going to have these not in the corner, but slightly in the corner. Don't want that. Go. Then I'm actually going to make this a component. So I'm going to do double click with my mouse, 1, 2, right click, make component right here. Just call it leg. Click OK. M for move. And if you want to move it to the corner, you can, or if you want to eyeball it offset, just gives a little bit more detail. And then when you want to make a copy, tap Control, got my plus sign, click a corner, and I'm just going to eyeball this side. I want to do the same thing to the other side, so I do spacebar, click this one, hold Shift, click this one. So now they're both selected. Press M, tap Control just one time, click and drag straight this way. And now I'm ready for the legs. Now if I tried to push pull, it wouldn't let me. It just does the whole thing. You have to double click inside to edit that component. And now I can push pull these all the way down evenly. And I can even have it snap to the bottom of my sofa armchair. And now there's a table. Pretty simple. If you want to make it bigger or smaller, you can highlight the whole thing. S for scale. So I can scale it, stretch it. That looks pretty good. If I want to move it, if I press move, it just messes this up. So what I like to do is make the whole thing a group. So highlight, right click, make a group, and then M for move. Now I can easily move this and it doesn't get messed up. Right, let's do a refrigerator. R for rectangle. Push pull. Let's go kind of fancy. Let's do A for arc. And let's go to a little corner, little tiny arc. So 1 click, 2 clicks. And your third click is your adjustment. And I go right. Right there. Since I'm in my arc tool, I think if you go to instructor, this little graduation cap, this tells you some instructions on whatever tool you click. So if I did line tool, if I did freehand tool, so this shows you a few tricks if you just click on the toolbars, what each function does. Push pull tool, and some tips, so that's handy. All right, so let's click out of that. Click the top of this, and then I go back to push pull, and I click this little noodle macaroni, follow me. Click this little piece. So now that added like a curve all the way in the top. Let's divide this. So let's do L for line. So I'm going to have like a freezer drawer on the bottom and then 2 drawers up here. To give it a little detail, let's do F for offset. So I'm going to offset this a little bit. Double click, double click. And then what I could do is just push pull the big part in slightly. Double click, double click. And handles, here's a cool feature. Let's do C for circle. Let's go up here. Small little circle. And what I'm actually going to do is trace something. So I'm going to come here. And this is like a little shortcut. All right, so what I did is this horseshoe shape is what I want to follow for that circle. So if I line it up, this piece here matches there, and the handle's going to stick out like that. So I think this might work. So what I do is I highlight this path. I lied. Come down to offset. Highlight this path. So just this is blue. Go back to the follow me. And then just click this little circle here. And then that followed this path the same height. And when you look at it side to side, I know it's 3-dimensional, but technically that's the same size. Now, if you want to make a copy of it, it's kind of hard to do that. So what I would do is actually make it a component. So if I double click this, right click, make component, handle, OK. Now this should work. So come down to offset. All right. I think you have to be in the mode. Yeah. Okay. This might work. All right. So I double click that, highlight this. Yeah, that won't work. This will work instead. Erase this. You can always drag these to the side. Try and think of a way to not do them over and over, but just once. So C for circle. And I'm going to press right arrow key small circle, click this line, make sure you're in offset mode, hold shift, click this, come over to follow me, click this, make this whole thing a component or a group. Group's fine. M, click this edge here. Let's scale it down, S. That's horrible, but whatever. So M, control, copy. Click this one, control C, control V. So for the group, M, and then this little red plus sign, and rotate it. M, so I click here, come down here. That looks all right. Oh, of course not. This one has to go here. This M, control. All right, so there's how I do a fridge.